So we got some great news over here, somewhat bad news over here, mostly great news over here. Welcome to the channel, guys. Oh, I forgot about this. I actually took off this trim simply to replace it because the car was hit and the trim was a little bit wavy, so I decided let me replace it with the one I have. I still got to paint it, prep it, and then put that on. Looks a little ugly for now, but we'll get that taken care of. So what's going on, guys? Today we got a pretty good video. We're getting back to working on this thing, and we're gonna start with the damper, right? The damper, and wait, I don't think I have those parts here. All right, I'm probably gonna have to go back inside and get some stuff, but I got some great news. I posted a video a while back, a pretty long while back, a lot longer back than I expected, where I said the Supra was pretty much dead. But in reality, we're all good over here. Timing's perfectly fine. We got our cams aligned, and now we're aligned perfectly on the trigger wheels mark. I had originally lined the mark on the oil pump with the mark on the crank gear, but that's literally on the face of the crank gear. But there's actually a mark on the trigger wheel, and now we have it on properly. And so now our timing's set there, and of course our cams, as before, everything's perfect up here. So timing's okay, our compression's fine. At first I thought the car was still dead because compression, once I figured out the timing, was perfect on 1 and 2, 5 and 6, and 3 and 4 was just brutal. So I thought, damn, this is the end of an era, and we're probably gonna have to rebuild the motor, do a build head, and all this crazy stuff. But the cylinder walls just dried up from the amount of times that we were trying to start the car the night that cylinder 1 was flooded, and pretty much from the other times I worked on it. Did a wet test, and the motor's pretty much fine. I doubt it's fried piston rings, because I don't think the piston rings just fried in not even the cylinder, which I had the issue in these of all things, you know, because if I expected an issue, I would have expected it on cylinder 1, which is where it flooded, not any of the others, but it was 3 and 4. So I doubt it's fried piston rings. Obviously, if it is, we'll find out when the car decides to crank on, which we still have some work to do as far as that goes. We got a lot of work to do, but you know, we have a step in the right direction here, and I'm really happy with where the car is headed now in comparison. For today, obviously I got the Fluidampr out here. We're going to be installing that. I got to get the wood rough key and a couple other things from the trunk. We have a new timing cover and exhaust manifold gaskets that I have to go pick up. We're pretty much wrapping up what we can here. Oh, and I'm a little bit of an idiot. I think I lost the nuts that hold this pulley in. I'm gonna have to go buy the nuts that match them to be able to obviously hold this pulley in. And then we have a working water pump. So yeah, let me go get that stuff to show you guys, and let's get into it. We also have torque specs for the damper, install instructions, and all that. Right here it says you need to torque your crank bolt on the Toyota 2JZ to 239 foot-pounds. I don't even have a torque wrench that goes up to 239 foot-pounds right now. I only have a 150. So that one I'll probably have to borrow from a friend, rent it from AutoZone or something, and then we'll figure that out. But we need to at least get it presented in place with the timing cover behind it and the wood rough key holding it in, of course, and the crank bolt somewhat on it at least. Nice and shiny timing cover, brand new from Toyota. So I'm gonna put that on right now. First we're gonna get this crank bolt off. So we left it on pretty much just to not lose it down the line. I have a friend that has one of these brand new, so I might just pay him for it and change this crank bolt just to have a new one. We're gonna get our timing guide. We want the cup side facing outward, like so. Now we gotta get our wood rough key. Without this, you wouldn't really be able to put in your crank sprocket or timing gear. You wouldn't be able to put that in properly, or your crank damper. So of course you gotta make sure you have this and don't lose it. It has to fit right in there, nice and snug. All right, we're gonna get underneath and check our torque spec on the tensioner real quick before we continue assembling. There we go. All right, so we got 20 foot-pounds on both. We're fine. This is already set. Alternator was installed before, so this is good for sure. Now we just got to put our cover on, wood rough key, damper, and then at least present the crank bolt, because I'm going to change it afterward. Alright, now we have proper fitment of this cover. We'll tighten that one down after. We got 1, 2. This one seems like it would be it. Right here. Alright, all we gotta do is tighten now. Where's our ratchet? These are all 10 mils. Our lower timing cover is in properly now. I was going to put this middle part of the timing cover back on, but I decided it's kind of disgusting, a little dirty, so I'll probably just take some time, clean this up real nice, because it's probably going to look a lot nicer than to have this timing cover all perfectly clean and then this one up here kind of nasty. It's going to look weird, so I'll take my time with this one. We're just going to put our wood rough key and maybe file down the crank a little bit, and that's pretty much it. You don't have to use the strongest grit sandpaper or anything like that, just something to kind of clean it up and even out the surface. Alright, so we put some gasket maker pretty much to hold this wood rough key in place while we get the damper on there. Alright, here we got our Fluidampr, brand new, ready to hold some power. Realized under that cover I also need this tensioner for the serpentine belt, so we're gonna put this on and then we'll get our damper done. I lubed up the crank already a little bit with some grease, same with the damper, just for prevention's sake, a little bit of safety, extra safety. And let's get this thing on so I don't forget about it. Alright, so we got our damper in place, somewhat presented, just has to finish going through. We're going to use the old crank bolt for now, just to make sure it's actually going in. We'll change afterward. So the damper is going in fine. I loosened this bolt a little bit, just so we're ready to take it out and replace it with a new crank bolt. Then we torque to spec, which is 239. Alright, so day 2 of wrapping up all the timing stuff. We got this torque wrench, still missing the water pump pulley bolts, but I ordered some bolts, so that'll make up for that. But yeah, we got this 250 foot-pound torque wrench real quick, as you guys will see right now. And we got our OEM replacement crank bolt. See, we had the Toyota bag in it, I already opened it up. Actually looks pretty different from what I have on the damper currently. I don't really know where that one came from. But we're gonna be replacing that one, putting this new OEM one in, and then we should have our damper fully installed. After this, all the mechanical stuff as far as timing goes is finished. First, let's get this bolt in real quick. Alright, now let's set our torque. There we go. So this will help us torque the damper all the way down. Let's get the torquing. Alright, so now that we got this in, let's put these nuts in to get this cover inside. There we go. Good there. Alright, now we just need a middle one. I gotta find the bolt that goes there and we'll be good. We're actually getting our rat inside. We found our bolts for the water pump pulley, so we got that in. Now we just gotta finish piecing it back together. So I had my cap on it, and well, we got our radiator already in here. We did our water pump pulley serpentine belt. Unfortunately that footage is gone forever, but And shout out to Patrick for coming over here, helping me out. You guys are going to see his AW11 on the channel and everything. MR2, by the way, for those of you who don't know that chassis code. You guys are going to see it soon, but yeah, unfortunately we have some lost footage, but it was pretty much just a radiator, put our connection in for the fans, serpentine belt, and our pulley, and that's pretty much it. We got to put this reservoir in here, and then it's pretty much assembled, and everything else is just fuel and tuning related. Let's get this. Wait, where's the yellow one? Yellow red. Here it is. After this, just coolant, right? Yeah, that's it. I don't know if that ground was there.
It doesn't matter. Ground is a ground. Whether you like it or not, a ground will ground. What else are you missing?
In reality, just adding coolant.
That was a Dodge Dart with a
because the CPS I disconnected was in. We did the serpentine belt. Alternator was installed.
That's a cool ass freaking wrench.
Yeah, I know.
That's fucking awesome. Dual purpose. It doesn't have enough clicks, but it's pretty nice.
Yeah, especially as like a last reserve, like roadside thing. Like, it'll save you. If anything, you know what? Just for the sake of presentation.
Yay!
Symbol of having it done, except it's not really done, but close to done. All right, we
got a wire.
I didn't tuck them under properly.
Oh wait a minute. These. Oh wait, this has to go to here and this like that, right?
Yeah, like there are hoses that should be there, but dude, like we still have to kind of fuck around with this after, so no, it doesn't matter.
Right,
it's just for the sake of. Oh, right.
That would probably help.
It's been so long, I haven't even remembered to do it. Wait. We're talking. And there we go. Symbol of what we could have done being done. So once this thing's able to start, we gotta add some coolant in here and be able to burp it properly. Add some coolant in here too, of course. Turbo blanket. I have the turbo blanket in the car. I expected to be taking that side apart, but I didn't.
So you can put it back on.
Huh?
You could put it back on.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Because, you know, it's not actually small enough to put the clips that should go around it, and you can't really reach around, but... Yay! Presentation! So, yeah. 2JZ is somewhat complete. Somewhat. And... car's almost ready to come back. So, I'm rounding off the video here. Stay tuned for videos on this car, SC300, AW11-2, many others. So, like, comment, subscribe, stay posted for more, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Everybody get smoked, dummy. Everybody get smoked, dummy. Yeah. Look, I'm aiming straight for the jugular, fuck it up. Everybody finna talk what they want. Know that they stating the formula for me, but I talk a lot when I gotta be blunt. Ain't talking fast when I send it text out. Check the connection and leave the rest out. Speaking into this shit, got the best now. So I'm a medulla, you talk with the shooters, I feel like